screen okay?
Welcome to the Empowered You Summit. Unlock the secrets to empowered living and creating the life you've always envisioned. Your hosts, Sherry Cameron and Nicole Mattice, are the dynamic duo behind Empowered You Coaching. As certified master life coaches, soulful event planners, and hosts of The She Shed Show, a PJ party with no bras, no BS, and real talk, they are passionate about helping women find success in every area of life. Their mission? To help women realize their worth, share their gifts, and live a life of joy and purpose. Now, Sherry and Nicole are excited to introduce our next inspirational guest. Let's dive in. Yay! Okay, welcome, Zorana. I just want to take a moment to let everybody know a little bit about you. So, Zorana is a dedicated homeschool mom. Oh my gosh, I always take my hat off to you gals. Reiki healer and intuitive coach. Her journey of overcoming a life riddled with chronic anxiety and chronic pain has shaped her into a compassionate guide for others. After breaking free from limiting belief systems and personal barriers, Zorana knew she had to help individuals find their own path to healing and empowerment. Zorana's deep intuitive understanding of energy healing and holistic practices allows her to connect with clients on a soul level, guiding them to release emotional blockages and embrace their authentic selves. Her mission is to inspire others to live courageously, heal from within, and reclaim their inner power, just as she has in her own transformative journey. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to be here and
Oh my
following
gosh.
Rayanne. Oh my gosh.
Right? Well, you're going
That
to
was
have just
amazing.
you're just going to have as much gold to share too, I know. And I just want to say, can I just say, she's
Yeah.
also a pretty amazing hairstylist. And, she just funked me up here. So
Hair looks good.
just throw that in there too.
Thank you.
Okay, Zorana, your topic is elevate your life, unlocking, or sorry, that's Rayanne's, pardon me, shattering the inner cage of judgment, confidently walking your authentic path. So, share with us, why is this topic important to you? Tell us a little bit about you and why that's important.
So, why I decided to share this topic and speak on this topic is because I'm still overcoming. I'm still shattering the cage. I think that we all have built these cages around ourselves where, we're so worried about what other people think of us that we've put ourselves in this cage. And so even being here today, this is proving to myself that I am shattering that cage. So I'm doing that right now as we speak. And so, yeah, it's just very important for me because I come from a place where it wasn't safe for me to be myself. Like I didn't feel
Mm-hmm.
safe. And so I put myself in that box slowly with all the things that people would, from childhood tell me that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't um, fast enough. I wasn't smart enough. All those things. Also, I want to say fleeing from a country that was war torn at the time. Um, I didn't feel safe to be in my body, safe to be myself, and so a lot of times I would have like the fight or flight and freeze response, just being in front of others, just speaking my authentic self, my authentic truth. It wasn't like I would freeze. I would freeze. I remember my 18th birthday. Uh, went to dinner theater and we got called on stage because it was anybody whose birthday it was go on stage. And I remember shaking like crazy. I remember
Mhm.
standing on that stage and having to repeat in my head at that time, my name is Zoran, I'm turning 18, just so that I wouldn't forget when the mic.
Right, like just those words were
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, what if I get them wrong? Or
yeah,
yeah.
because our survival instincts
Hmm.
are to belong, to fit in with community, with people, so that we have a higher chance of survival. And so that, for me, it would take me straight to blackout. Like I would not remember anything, including my name and my how old I was turning.
Right?
So
Now that's a cage,
it's
right?
a
Like to your
cage.
point, I like the name of your talk, like that's a cage. Like just being trapped in the cage. Like I'm so fearful of putting myself out there that I'm afraid I'll forget my own name.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I feel like there's so many people out there still that are in that cage of judgment, of fear of what other people think. So if
Oh
they can
yeah.
relate, I used to think the way that I used to say, I don't care what people think, I don't care what people think, but that was a big lie because my actions would
Mhm.
prove differently. If I would go and get ready for an event, let's say there's a lot of people that I know are going to be there, everybody needs to be dressed up, looking nice, whatever it was, but I would start to get ready and I couldn't get ready enough because I would tear myself down with the judgments that I was perceiving through everybody else. I remember thinking like, oh, my hair's not curling the right way. My makeup's not covering the pimples on my face. I have nothing to wear, right? Like
Mhm.
you've been in
Yeah,
that moment
full
where you're like
closet. I have
nothing,
nothing to wear.
I have nothing to wear, and you have nothing to wear because you
Mhm.
feel not good enough.
Not good enough. No matter what I put on,
Yeah.
it's not going to
It's
be.
that judgment of you are like within you thinking that everybody's judging you. So I'd be like,
Mhm.
you know, I before I even left the house, I'd be like, oh, I didn't get my nails done. I didn't do my nails. Someone's going to pay attention to my nails being done, or that
Yeah.
pimple on my face, or whatever it was, like little things.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. And would you say, Zorana, I think that part of this is like it's part of being human. Like I
Yeah.
think, you mentioned it's a safety thing. It's, our brains like we're community tribal people. Like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh, if my tribe doesn't accept me, like where will I be? Right? That
Exactly.
kind of primal fear. But I hear what you're saying. And I think that, it comes up still for everyone. But what I want to celebrate for you is like you're saying that's how debilitating it was for you. And you're in this space, because I know you a little bit more personally, you're in this space of, I don't know if you've officially said that, but it's like the whole year of yes or something. Like you're just saying yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, right? And whatever comes. And I love what you're saying here too, because it's like, oh, my nails are I had that thought the other day. I had my toenails all done and like the shellac or whatever they put on them. And the rest of them kind of it all chipped off. And I had one toe that had left this. And then I got into a little bit of that spin of like, oh, I don't want to show up with my feet bare like that. People are going to think
Mm.
like, you know what? I'm no, I'm not together. I'm not. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, stupid toe. Like,
Yeah, because we're thinking that people are going to judge us. They're
yeah,
going to judge us if we're not all put together in the most perfect way.
yeah,
If we don't have, the designer handbag showing up to the event, we're not going
yeah,
to fit in.
right.
Or maybe like my brain will even spin it to, if I do have that designer bag, but it doesn't go with my clothes, but I want to wear the designer bag to show everybody that I have one. Well,
Yeah.
what if it
If
looks
you'd
like I'm
love the
trying too
designer bag.
hard? Right?
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, might be judging me for trying too hard at that point.
Oh my gosh, right? This is the spin we can get
Can
into.
never win.
Yeah. Jerry
Yeah.
says it can totally relate. She feels you. So I know you probably have some points you want to share on this, and I want to give you the opportunity to jump into those.
Yeah,
So
for
what would you
sure.
say?
So I mean, yeah, I was responsible for creating that cage around me. I realized that I felt that I was judging me. People weren't judging me,
Oh, right.
because if I'm spending all of this time focused on myself, I'm sure everybody else is spending
Just
that
doing
much
the
time
same.
focused on themselves.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're not actually judging me. They're judging themselves. They're too busy in their own minds, in their own space, thinking the same thing about themselves. So they don't have the energy or the focus to be actually thinking about my nails or the pimple or my hair or what bag I'm wearing, because all of their energy is being put towards them
Their own
feeling that
stuff.
same way, that same survival need of I need to fit in, I need to
Mhm.
look good, I need to this, that.
So
So
true.
so I like that cage was created from childhood, like I said earlier, like from teachers, from peers, from people around you. They're going to tell you that you're too much, you're too this, too annoying, too loud, too quiet.
Yeah.
And with all of that, you are putting boundaries up. Like, okay, so I'm too much of
Mm,
this. Let me be less. I'm too loud. Let me be more quiet. I'm
mm.
annoying. Let me like take a step
Right.
back.
This is the theme that's going on throughout this summit so far. It's that, all that's external noise. It's like it's in here,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
It's in here. It's not out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you create that cage, you create that box with all of those beliefs that you needed to be different in order to be accepted by everybody. So that cage eventually gets too small because, like, as a human, as a soul, we want to evolve. We want to become bigger. We want to become better. That's the evolution of humanity. Like, we want to be more. And so, being not like me being in that cage that I built for myself, I began to feel suffocated.
Oh, wow.
No
Yeah.
matter how much I tried to be enough for everybody else,
Hmm.
I couldn't,
Hmm.
because I wasn't ever going to be enough for myself in
Yeah.
this cage.
I love what you're pointing out here. And I just want to capture a bit of what you're saying around this different the differentiation between um I want to evolve. Like we're
Yeah,
meant to evolve, we're meant to expand, we're meant to grow. And that does not mean because where I am is bad or I'm not enough or right. Like I love that differentiation that you're offering.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, I felt overwhelmed of trying to become something that I couldn't, that I didn't know how to become, because I was trapped. And in that, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Mm,
So I got to an extreme point of feeling suffocated in that box, feeling overwhelmed with my life. And I didn't even know who I was or what I was supposed to become, but I knew that I just wasn't meant to be here anymore. And so trying to become enough for everybody else drove me to my nervous system completely shattering. And that's
thicken.
what fibromyalgia is.
Mm-hmm.
So my body was engulfed with chronic pain, and from head to toe, I couldn't even sleep. My mind was completely foggy. Like, I couldn't think. I was 30 years old and I was
Right.
thinking like I'm losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember anything
Feel you.
from yesterday. I have a newborn. And I was just, I felt so overwhelmed trying to, keep up with everything, keep up with life. And yeah, I just completely shattered myself. And that's when I knew I cannot live like this anymore.
Yeah.
So I often see now with my clients that I work with that the only the reason why we get in such darkness in our life is because those emotions, those feelings are meant to drive us out of there. We see
Mm-hmm.
darkness as something bad, but it's not. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live like this anymore. And that's where the
Yeah.
evolution happens.
Yeah. And I'm listening and seeing Jerry's comment here. It says, "Gosh, my story too. I
Oh,
know I can see myself in your story too." There's yours. I know Nicole's story. I can see Nicole in your story. This is where, you know, events like this, people like you, like take advantage of that wisdom and someone who, right? It's sad to me that many times, this is a common story. We wait until like literally everything's crumbling, which
yeah.
again, I bet you for you, you would say now coming on the other side of it, that your fibromyalgia and the challenges you were having were some of your biggest gifts,
Oh, 100%.
right?
Yeah.
And, we don't necessarily have to have ourselves, hit the pit and go through all that to find more joy, to
Yeah.
find more self-confidence and
Exactly.
acceptance. Yeah.
So with that shift, I that's where I shattered my cage. And I began to take one step out and realize, it's actually safer out here than I thought.
God.
I'm allowed to be my authentic self. Like
Mm.
I just allowed myself to experience the feelings that I was experiencing. I,
Hmm.
I like Rayanne said, I started to take the time for myself in the bathtub and time for myself to figure out, who am I? What is happening? What, like, I need to help myself. The pain of being where I was in that discomfort was greater than at that point than the pain of shattering that cage and breaking
Right.
those boundaries.
Yeah. And you said something really important too that I just want to put an exclamation point on is that piece around I allowed myself to feel those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because I can speak for my own journey, Zorana. It was like, oh, if that's coming up, like again, judgment, that's bad. Oh my goodness, push that out of the way. And that's part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, thank you to Jerry Torrand. I became a trilotherapy practitioner through Jerry. And that was one of the biggest things I took away from the trilotherapy was like, oh my gosh, like it's okay. I can allow these things to be there. I don't have to judge them and push them away and be so harsh on myself,
Yeah,
right?
with
They're
my
just
experience of,
guide signs.
yeah, exactly. That's like
Mhm.
with my experience is that your emotions are guiding you. They're guiding you to where you're meant to be, where you're supposed to be going with your life. Like
Mhm.
if you're feeling discomfort, sorry, tap into what that discomfort is and where it wants you out of. So
What's it trying to tell you?
yeah, what are your
What's the
emotions? Like
message? What's the gift?
even anger is gonna, like,
Mhm.
it's like, what are you so passionate about?
Yeah.
Right, like all of your emotions, allow yourself to feel them because they're gonna
Yeah.
guide you to where you're meant to be.
Yeah. Jealousy, like
Yeah,
shame,
yeah,
like, those ones that we just go, oh,
yeah,
I'm a bad, if I'm like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be feeling jealousy, or I should, that shame, you just feel terrible. And it's like, okay, what if we just said, I'm going to allow that to come and
yeah,
just heal what needs to be healed.
Exactly.
and see what it has to tell me. See
Mm-hmm.
what gift it has to share with me. I want to say Jeanette said, or Janet, sorry, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in my mid 30s, pain, sleep, deprivation. I know exactly what you were talking about, Zorana. I had to shift my life and work very hard to get control of my health.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Hmm.
I definitely went down the holistic road, and I found myself healing once I made that decision that I couldn't live like that anymore. I made that decision, and I actually went to an Ayurvedic doctor who helped me, and I just eliminated some foods, and I was able to calm my nervous system. So I realized, like, okay, it was the nervous system that was just shattered. And once I healed, it took about 6 weeks. All the pain was gone, all the fog was gone. And I was like, oh, I get to experience this new life. Like I'm a new person.
Hmm.
I felt so guided from then on to
Hmm.
do like the journaling, the breath work, the meditation. I felt guided. I was guided from
Hmm.
within that these are the
Yeah.
changes that I needed to make in order to continue my healing journey and to let go of the
So
judgments of what
beautiful.
everybody else
I
thinks.
love this. Like it's like really what you're saying is that piece of Nicole and I were sharing, like around becoming aware, right? And then
Yeah.
what I love is you chose to do something different. Like you made a choice to say, like, I matter.
Hmm.
Like I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to do whatever everyone else is telling me to do, right? And then
Yeah.
that's when you start to transform. And like I said, I love that you're on this kind of yes mission, right? And saying yes to things and really getting clear on, hey, who am I? And
Yeah.
like, what do I, how do I want to express? What do I want to do? How do I want to share my gifts with the world? Not from a place of like, I have to be people pleasing
Hmm.
and doing all that, but from a place of what feels joyful and
Totally.
right for me.
So
So,
then how I shifted out of that and what helped me so much is that the only two people you should be people pleasing or asking advice from is not the people that are like, don't ask advice from people in your life that aren't on the same path as you, that aren't
yeah.
doing what you want to do with your life. Don't even take advice. Like people might just tell their opinion anyways, but don't take their advice. You have to tap into yourself. And so the only two people that you should be pleasing and asking opinions from is your 5-year-old self and your 80 to 100-year-old self, the self that lives at the end of
Ooh,
your life,
love it. Mm-hmm.
because they're going to tell you. So your 5-year-old self is, their imagination roams wild.
That's a
They
boom. I think throw boom in the chat if you felt that. I felt that. Yeah. Like it's
so
like ask the little girl, little boy, what do
yeah,
you need? And then
they still think you're limitless, right? They
mhm.
still have like these crazy imaginations that you could fly on a rocket ship and travel space. Like they believe that you are limitless. And so when you ask yourself, tap into that 5-year-old self. Am I inspiring that 5-year-old self right now with my life? And then tap into the 80, 100-year-old version of yourself, how you decide to live. And they're full of wisdom, and they have stories to tell of the decisions that you decided to take, the
Yeah.
risks that you took in your life.
What you can just let go of. Like don't
Yeah.
sweat that.
Yeah.
Right? This is what's important. That's what I think the
Exactly.
older, wiser self is going to tap into, right?
Hmm.
You got to coin that like a 5 and 95 or
Yeah.
something. The
Yeah.
5 and 95
Your 5 and 95 year
process or
old self.
something. Yeah.
Close your eyes, envision that they're, holding hand in hand. And with any questions that you have, ask them, is this the relationship that I should be in right now?
Mm-hmm.
The 5-year-old self is going to tell you the harsh truth. right?
Right? Because I don't care.
And so is your old wise self.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna tap in and they're gonna tell you their truth of what
Yeah.
they feel. Is this the career path you should be on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? You're gonna tap in, you're gonna be told right away. Are you
That's
taking
great.
the risks, or are you gonna live that whole life and look back and regret that you didn't take risks, that you didn't make the choices for your authentic self and your authentic path because you were too scared. You lived your life in that cage and in fear that, like, sorry, my brain my brain went.
No, that's okay. Like like I said, it's a boom. That is a great tip, Zorana. Thank you for
Yeah,
that. Now I am mindful of time and I want to make sure that we
okay,
chat about your gifts.
of
So
course.
make sure you guys do that. 5 and 95. That's what I'm calling it for you.
Yeah,
Do
tap into.
Zoranas 5 and 95. And I know you have a free gift for us. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
So the free gift with the free registration is a 60-minute discovery phone call with me. We can definitely go, I'll do a guided meditation, and we can definitely do some
Beautiful.
energy work and just chat on how we can work together, hit some of your goals. And the VIP gift is a full 90-minute Reiki energy experience, I like to call it.
Ooh,
In
90
person, you'll
minutes.
get the sound bowl, you'll get the crystal healing
Ah,
therapy, and what I do is I can read energy, so I pick up or I guide you into a deep meditative state. And then I begin to read your energy. I will jot down whatever comes through for me so that we kind of, after the clearing, I clear all the negative, heavy energies, blockages that are no longer serving you, and bring in love and light energies. And then afterwards, we go through what I picked up from your energy centers. And sometimes we don't have awareness of where our blockages are. So I see a lot of feedback and transformations through my clients that have come for multiple sessions. And yeah, it depends on how deep your programming is and those
mm-hmm.
blockages are. And yeah, I've seen crazy
Amazing
transformations with my
results.
people. So I'm
I love
excited to
it.
offer it and
And
have you
90
all
minutes, like
come.
you're so generous. Doesn't that sound beautiful, you guys? I'm going to encourage you to for sure take advantage of that free gift. And if that sounds as yummy to you as it does to me, upgrade to VIP, just $67. And then, of course, your name goes in the draw for the $500 cash to spend with the speaker of your choice. Maybe that's Sorana. And your seat at Life by Design. And all the other incredible gifts that have been shared so far, VIP gifts so far, and more to come. So thank you so much, Lorana. This was just wonderful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for another amazing session on the Empowered You Summit. For more information or to learn more about our upcoming Life by Design weekend workshop, email us at hello@empoweredyoucoaching.com. Now, tune in to another transformational speaker.